They've got their field goal percentage to thank for that. They've been hot from all over the floor tonight. We've got more in store for you right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Things were going Charlotte's way from the beginning. They literally played out of their minds and had a stretch going that gave them a 19-point advantage. Big-time offense for them was the theme, and at the end of quarter one, they were up by 16. Moving on to the second quarter, their lead was challenged, but never seriously, as they took a 12-point edge into the half. Shaq, your thoughts on the Hornets?
Well, it was an unselfish, team-oriented half of basketball. The ball never stopped moving. Their offense had a great flow to it. It prevented anyone from getting lazy out there. They're always moving, cutting, knowing where they need to pass the ball, Ernie.
And now, Kenny, let's get your opinion on Atlanta.
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better into a better rhythm in the second half and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
He proves them right. They're like, see, we had it right all along, so good call, fellas.
And so it's the Charlotte Hornets holding a big 18-point lead to close the quarter. Their defense has been terrific. Kemba Walker.
Yeah, it's his job to keep their offense ticking, and tonight he's earned his keep. He's been able to find open teammates everywhere, feeding the post, creating open jump shots on the perimeter. His passing has been the best element of his game.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. Folks, that's going to do it for now. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone. Have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. Right back after this break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. It's Cleveland out on top at halftime. They lead by 11. Shaq, how do you think Cleveland played?
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, it's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
And Kenny, let's get your input on the Pacers.
Well, one problem I see is that they're too timid on the boards. When you start to fall behind in the game, you need to become more aggressive on the offensive glass and the defensive glass.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
Point lead heading into the next quarter. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. And we'll be right back after this. For joining us, that'll do it for now. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. So long. There was absolutely no stopping him. And we'll be back with you shortly.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Kawhi Leonard is having one of those nights. He had 16 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. First 2 quarters from him were fun to watch. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, we have to talk about the unbelievable job they've done rebounding the basketball. They've sent bodies flying to the boards on every possession. They've been a stronger, quicker, tougher team by a wide margin. And it's that dominance on the glass that's going to win them this game.
And Shaq, how do you think the Jazz were playing?
They were not running an efficient offense. The shot selection has to improve. It's as simple as that. Too many guys are working as individuals, not as a team. They need to work as a unit, Ernie. Move the ball.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
Quarter. Barring a disaster, it would appear they've got this game in the bag. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. The presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard.
And he's played this entire game on his front foot, Kevin. I mean, driving the lane, going to the rim with purpose, and getting those points the hard way.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. Will do it for now. And for Craig Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long. At the end of the quarter, they've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime show on 2K Sports. Zach LaVine led the way in the first half. He ended up with 17 points, 2 assists, and 1 steal. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
Well, the bench came in and helped them run away with this one. Tremendous job of getting loose, getting open, and drilling shots. You always want that spark off the bench, and these guys delivered.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on the Lakers?
Well, the bottom line, Ernie, they got to defend the three-point line much better. They were concentrating all their effort into protecting the paint, and these guys were standing behind the line, yakum, splaka kataya, and that strategy backfired, Ernie. They gave up far too many open looks, and all those threes killed them.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan and crew, standing by courtside.
Right along with what they did on offense, because the defense actually gave them the spark they needed.
And so it's Chicago with a 10-point lead, some breathing room heading into the break. And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. And we'll be back with you shortly. 2 seconds left to play in the final quarter. A chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Jabari Parker.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long. Been active and effective. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to break down all the action from the first half. It's Memphis out in front at the half. They are leading by 12. And Shaq, let's get your input on the Grizzlies.
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, it's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
Kenny, what's your take on the Clippers?
Well, obviously, they were outshot. I thought they mailed it in too many times in terms of their effort. People weren't moving, they weren't screening, and they definitely weren't hustling. They need to hit the ground running to be competitive in the second half, or they could get blown out.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
To end the quarter, defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. We'll return shortly. Our broadcast. For Brent Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you later. The play. Brooklyn ahead. They're up by 10. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. Big-time play throughout the first half for Kenneth Faried. He ended up with 17 points and 11 rebounds. He has bounced back nicely from what was a tough night for him in their last game. Judging by that first half, he's back to his old self again. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the Nets?
Well, what's really shifted the game in their favor has been their rebounding. They've got a good edge on the boards, and that's a product of their hard work. All 5 guys have been battling, putting everything they have to fight on the glass. That needs to remain the focus for 2 more quarters if they want to hang on to that lead.
And over to Kenny, your thoughts on the Bucks.
Well, they just didn't produce enough offense. I don't know if it's because they were expending so much energy on the defensive end, but clearly they have to take a look at this. What plays are we calling, and how can we improve that? And they have to do it fast, because if they don't, this game is going to run away from them.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter. Next.
The league, obviously, Eric Bledsoe, as an elite level athlete, and the longer you play, the more you understand how to take advantage of that. And obviously, once you become a starter, you can expect your productivity to increase.
Folks, for Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long. He was all over the place during that quarter. They are riding his performance right now. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
The first half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. Welcome back.
Ken,
as we break down the action. After the first 2 quarters of play, it's New Orleans in control. They lead by 9 points. Shaq, how do you think New Orleans played?
Well, they're out in front tonight because of their offensive rebounding. Those second chance buckets came into play in a big way. Those are effort points, momentum builders, salvaging points off the scrap heap. You never heard me say scrap heap before, Ernie. I don't even know what it means. It just sounded good.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about the Rockets?
their defensive fundamentals have been atrocious. I mean, you see guys reaching instead of moving their feet. They're not getting out the shooters. They've dug themselves a hole, and the only way to get out of it is all 5 guys start defending the way they should.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
All he can to annoy shooters.
And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans. 13 points up at the end of the period. They've been playing some ferocious defense. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. Moment for our Jordan player of the game, Anthony Davis.
And guys, this really has been his night. He's done a lot of things well, but his scoring really put him over the top. You can see how determined he's been every time he's gotten his hands on the ball. Great drive and also great focus offensively.
We'll wrap it up, folks. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you next time. And we return.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
The first half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. Welcome back.
Ken,
as we break down the action. The first quarter for the Mavericks was fairly even. Nothing seemed to give way on either side of the scoring column as they wrapped up the period all knotted up. They're in a terrific position now thanks to their flawless execution in the second quarter. Some excellent work offensively now has them up 11 at the break. Shaq, what's your take on Dallas?
Well, what's really shifted the game in their favor has been their rebounding. They got a good edge on the boards, and that's a product of their hard work. All 5 guys have been battling, putting everything they have to fight on the glass. That needs to remain the focus for 2 more quarters if they want to hang on to that lead.
Kenny, let's get your insight on Portland.
well, they're trailing in this game because they're shooting under 35%. Now, I've got to give a lot of credit to the defense, forcing the shooters off their spots and making them feel uncomfortable. But if someone takes something away from you, you have to be able to adapt. So they need a whole new game plan because right now they're in trouble.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
United affair. It's Dallas running away with it. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports.
Misses lately, really unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of blanks there. Can't hit a thing. Has to be deflating.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Harrison Barnes.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
And maybe him having a game like this will get things turned around for him, because almost nothing has been going their way lately. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long, everyone. We started in the second quarter when we return.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Ernie Johnson joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports.
Been working out.
It's San Antonio out on top at halftime. They lead by 14. Kenny?
What a brilliant, unselfish half of basketball they just played. Their ball movement was absolutely impeccable. All in all, just beautiful basketball to watch.
Shaq, what'd you think about Philadelphia?
Sloppy ball, way too many wasted possessions, chucking up threes, missing them. I could hit more threes than that, Ernie. I hope they're talking right now about getting the ball inside, because that's what it's going to take. If they were hitting more threes, it'd be a different story. But if was a fifth, Ernie, you know the rest.
And that is just about going to wrap it up, as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
Close. Their defense has been terrific in this game. We'll return shortly.
Pace of this game. We'll see if they decide to front him, bring a quick double, or maybe even both to try to slow him down.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, LaMarcus Aldridge.
And it's been a terrific night for him in terms of the scoreboard. They've run a bunch of sets for him, and he's continued to come through. Scoring as well as he has, it's taken a lot of pressure off the rest of his teammates.
For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. So long. Suns lead by 3. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. Time for the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Devin Booker putting in some incredible work. He had 14 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. Let's hear from you, Shaq, on the Suns.
Well, Kenny knows about this. I used to do this to his team all the time. Take advantage of you down low. Mismatch, barbecue chicken alert, make good entry passes. That led to some good looks, obviously a lot of points. When you control the paint, Ernie, you control the game. I was the master of controlling thy paint. Shaquille.
And Kenny, your take on New York.
Their three-point shooters struggle to get into a rhythm. It's a mental thing. You start clanking them, and your teammates start. It's contagious. Now, percentage-wise, shooting in the low 30s, it's not horrific, but it's not great. And they have to improve their accuracy from deep in the second half, or they're going to have a hard time coming back.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan and crew, standing by courtside.
Their defense has been active and effective. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. That's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And we'll see you next time.